Welcome to the Mint Report, our wrap-up of the day's business news. Here are the top stories. IMF cuts growth projection for India. June inflation remains above 7%. And markets fall for a fourth day in a row. First up, the IMF has scaled down its estimates for India's economy. It says a combination of weak global markets and falling demand at home will mean slower growth. IMF's projection for the calendar year 2012 is 6.1%. Earlier this year, the government had projected growth of 7.6% in the fiscal 2012-13, but actual growth in the January to March quarter was only 5.3%. IMF's latest estimate is an update of its World Economic Outlook, which came out in April. It has called India a rising concern, citing a large fiscal deficit and the weakening rupee. But IMF also said emerging markets as a whole had been hurt by risk aversion and expectation of lower growth. In a separate development, new figures released by the government show a slight easing in inflation. Provisionally, the wholesale price index for June was 7.25%. The previous month it was at 7.55%. Another factor that could push inflation upwards is deficient rainfall. Monsoons have remained poor so far this year, a fact that can cause food prices to spike up. Moving to corporate news, IT and engineering services firm Mindtree has posted results for the first quarter. Profit rose 21.3% to $16.7 million. Still, shares of Mindtree tumbled 2.23% on the BSE, even as the Sensex dropped 0.63%. Jaguar Land Rover has driven sales at Tata Motors once again, but this time the sales figures have failed to meet investor expectations. Sales at JLR rose 39% year-on-year in June to 28,215 units. Overall sales for the company rose 6% and shares of the firm retreated 2.63% on the BSE. And finally, markets declined on Monday, marking their fourth continuous day of losses. The Sensex fell 110 points to 17,103, and the Nifty dropped 30 to close at 5,197. IT stocks also lost ground on Monday. Infosys plunged nearly 2.5%, with investors still reeling from its poor guidance last week. And rival TCS did even worse, falling 3.16%, apparently on profit booking. And that's all we have for you. Thank you for watching.